Okay, so we're now recording. So firstly, the topic is exercise. So what we want to firstly discuss is how important is exercise to you to begin with? And, you know, you could possibly compare it to a time that when you haven't trained and then you've got back into exercising, you know, if you maybe fallen out of a routine, and how the difference was in you. So what does exercise mean to you? And it can be, you know, it can be 2-3 minutes, but yeah, Tom, you're top left of my screen, you're the first one I'm seeing that, so let's go with you.
Okay, so so fitness in terms for me, it's just part and parcel of life. Like for me, a lot of people build up fitness to be like the bodybuilders, the runners, the people who are constantly doing stuff. But for me, fitness is just getting out and working within your own sort of remit. So if you're like, you can't go out running, but you can go out on long walks, that kind of stuff. You know, if you enjoy lifting weights, but you can't lift those really heavy weights, then you go lighter and stuff like that. I think fitness is very personal, depending on the person, depending on the motivation. So in terms of like, what does fitness to me, it's a case of getting out and being able to move around, being able to play with Evelyn or to run around the park or something like that, and just being able to move. For me, that's the biggest thing for fitness, is doing something and enjoying it and getting out and just getting moving more than anything.
Yeah, so you said then there's two things that I picked up on, like you want to be able to enjoy it. So probably a lot of people would listen to this and say, but I don't enjoy exercise. So what would you recommend to somebody that then says, I don't enjoy exercise, I wish I could enjoy it?
Well, I think for a lot of times is a lot of people, the reason why they don't enjoy fitness or getting fit or doing something is because they put a negativity towards it. So if you're always trying to run as fast as you can, it will always hurt. It will always suck. Like, there's a difference between my running when I run just training and my running during a race. Like, during a race, it's horrible. It sucks. It's disgusting. So why would I run, as fast as I can all the time? Because it feels disgusting. I'm then going to have, I've got to go for a run. It feels disgusting. Whereas my training runs are a lot slower than my fast runs. So I can actually enjoy the run. I can see stuff going on. I can run down a canal and stop at look at some ducks or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That's the enjoyment. If you're always trying to beat a PB or run as fast as you can, it's not going to feel nice and you're not going to like it. So adapt what you're doing so that you can find that enjoyment. And it's a case of finding something you enjoy. Like, if you want to go out hiking and you enjoy going hiking with friends and going up mountains, and that's your fitness, stick with it. Doesn't mean that you have to go into a gym and do weights. Doesn't mean that you have to run at 100 miles an hour. Find the fitness thing that you enjoy and then stick with it.
And put that into your routine. And also, I suppose, which we'll probably touch upon it when we discuss it further, but in terms of like timing, don't always think that your exercise has to be 1 hour a day. You know, it could literally be walking to a shop, and that's more walking that you would do than taking the car. You're going to burn more calories, you're going to lose weight, you're going to get the fresh air, you're going to have that endorphin release, essentially, because you're getting fresh air, it's giving you that chemical release. So then,
5-10 minute walks, you know, it's that kind of thing where going for short walks, if you split it up over the day, you can easily do an hour's of exercise.
Yeah.
You know, it's that build up. I think a lot of people, when they think of fitness, they either think of being in a gym doing weights or being in a gym doing exercise.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't always need to do that. And I think with everything going on with COVID and stuff, is people are starting to realise that. But, you know, a lot of people I know who we're always training for races, and you're pretty much on the point of breaking, which I'm finding out I'm constantly on. But they've actually toned down their training and they're starting to enjoy it.
Yeah.
now, and it's that kind of thing. You're not training for anything, you're just training for your base fitness. So it's basically going out for a run and running at your base pace, and that's it. Like,
yeah, so people's goals are changing. It's different. When in the studio they'll be training for something different, but outside of that we haven't got the equipment, we haven't got the ease of just walking into a studio and having a workout plan laid out for us. We've got our YouTube workouts essentially and so on, but not everybody wants the virtual side of things, so it's finding something else that would just ease that or fill the gap for the time being.
And so don't feel guilty about not doing something that people are saying that you have to do. Like, if you don't enjoy it, or you're not in the mental the mental side of things to actually do that, it's okay, as long as you're just getting out and doing something. Like, you know, for example, it could be out gardening, it could be just, like, as you said, walking to the shops. That's fitness.
Yeah,
you're doing something, you're working your body.
Yeah, definitely.
The more you do it, the more your body gets used to it, and then eventually you have to do more. But at this current moment, I would say for mental health, it's just a case of getting out and doing stuff.
And doing something. So then what would you then say, like, Solly, what does fitness mean to you?
I used to be pretty active, like, since I was very young until high school, and it all kind of dropped down when I went to uni. But it's more of like getting you into a routine and just getting you that good mood. And I feel like it's a basis. So it's just, if you just work out for no matter what time it is the day, so it's just the base that gives you the good mood, gives you more energy. I kind of like try to focus on my cardio a bit more as well, because as older as you get, it's good for your health, and you can feel that you're getting more stronger. Like, you could be 50 years old or 60 years old, and you can still enjoy things that normal people wouldn't be able to enjoy if you're not exercising or like.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. So you said, Solly, on then that it affects your mood. So have you not trained for a little while and then went back to training, or when you didn't train, how did you feel? Like, let's talk on that mood aspect now.
I think you feel more energized. You feel that you've got, even though that you trained and you put some effort, you feel like you've got more energy to do things during the day. You don't feel like you don't feel like resting down or sitting down. It just kind of get you active.
So you feel a bit more proactive and productive in day-to-day life. So then, can anybody
100%.
relate to that in terms of, we've said that mood, so Solly, you've said that you feel good, you feel more energized, you feel more proactive, you probably feel a little bit more assertive about your day as well, and you can make sharper decisions. But then, anybody has not trained and felt rubbish? Has anybody gone through that stage of missing training or so on? So Lorraine, go for it.
Two ways of thinking of it, really. I don't really like exercise, because for me it's not comfortable, even if I don't have to kill myself, but it's not comfortable. But I think a lot of people think that they've got to kill themselves in order to feel, oh, I've done some workouts today. For a start, because I've had my injury, I've had to really, lay it right back, and I've actually enjoyed it more, and my mood's been more elevated, and I've actually looked forward to doing the classes, or just generally walking around. And then when I don't, like, say when my back's bad, I'll miss a class, and I feel guilty, I feel rubbish, and I feel a bit depressed, and I start eating rubbish. And it kind of goes in line with when I'm having an off day, a really off day, and I feel rubbish. But then this morning, I didn't feel like doing the class this morning because my back was sore. But after I'd done it, ex-Mike and gone, right, I've done Calvin's class, I've done my thing on the treadmill, I'm doing my dog walk, I've done and I just feel so much more upbeat.
So I think then what you're saying then, Lauren, it's almost like being consistent, and it's not about going into doing a workout and thinking, I'm going to give my absolute all. You went in today and thinking, I don't really fancy it, but you've come away feeling amazing. So then that's another thing, that it's all about being consistent and all about balance. And a lot of people and I know people that are all or nothing. And, you can train so hard for 6 or 8 weeks and they go for it, they feel amazing, and then they don't. for a little while, and it's a constant like this. I'm not saying that affects well, it can affect moods, it can affect weight gain, nutrition, food choices, and even decision making, and and what they do in a day-to-day life. That it's constantly like that. So you've already said that feeling, training makes you feel good, but you do have to sometimes push yourself, but then after that you do feel better when you do it. So then, Rachel, can you relate to any of that in terms of if you've went through a stage where you train more and felt like you were more motivated, or?
My story's a little bit different. I put on weight at uni. I think most people do. I wasn't particularly sporty at school or anything. I was more into my drama rather than sports. But I felt horrible when I finished uni and I saw photos of myself. I was quite horrified. But then I went the other way. Started having issues with food and not eating, and then hitting the gym. I was doing like 9 classes a week. And I just went completely the other way and basically I was anorexic for a little bit.
Overtrained and sort of maybe needed to have that connection with food and build that relationship.
Yeah. Overtrained and didn't eat, so which wasn't really ideal. But I think training for me is about balance. It helped me with my attitude to food, because I love my food now, and I enjoy eating. I like eating out, and for me, I know that you shouldn't go, all right, I've done this so I can have that. That's not what it's about. It's, for me, it's more, it just keeps everything in balance. So yeah, I like to train because it makes me feel better mentally.
Yeah.
And it also makes me feel less guilty, even though I would say to people, don't try and associate your exercise with guilt. You shouldn't do. But that is just the way I am.
I think then maybe when you do have those treats, it feels easier to say it's okay to be having those treats, or maybe have more than normal because you have exercise. And, as long as you can recognize that it's all about the balance, then I think then you build and I think that's possibly what people are struggling with, the connection with food, and saying maybe like, oh, I burnt 300 calories, so I can, depends what your goal is, but maybe I'll burn 300 calories, so yeah, I can now eat 300 calories, but then they also maybe potentially don't understand why they're not losing weight. So that's when it's sort of like a little bit of education of what is the right things to eat, so it uses energy and so on. So then, Calvin, you're probably the person to go to on that in terms of balancing. You eat a very good balanced diet. Nutrition's key. You train hard. Have you ever been through a stage where you haven't trained and it's affected your mood a little bit?
Yeah, lockdown.
Yeah. I'm in it now.
You can tell it. I look like a teen wolf, so I haven't shaved at all. So it's affected my mood. So, but yeah, just obviously, I mean, each one of you guys are right about in terms of what fitness is kind of like impacted your lives. But I mean, just to kind of backtrack on what Tom just said previously, but fitness is kind of, just to kind of talk about fitness, it's kind of like a broad term that means something different to everyone. Fitness is a different thing to each one of us. Fitness can mean, like, for someone doing yoga, that's their fitness. It could mean someone going fishing, that's the the on way to to keeping active, or someone doing a little bit of gardening. It's completely different. We can talk about the physical aspects of it, the emotional aspects of it, and the mental aspects of it that you guys have been talking about. But it kind of, fitness covers those kind of areas, the emotional, the mental, and the physical aspects of all those things. It depends. Whichever thing you're doing is going to make you emotionally happy, mentally stable, and physically fit as well. That's what fitness is. It's a broad term, but it's just what it means to the other individual. What it means to me is different from Solly, it's different from Rachel, Tom, Lorraine. If you hate it, find something that makes you happy, emotionally stable, physically fit, and it's going to keep you emotionally happy as well.
So on that, Calvin, just because that was perfect what you said, I'm so glad that you said that everybody has their own relationship with fitness and health, and it means something completely different. So then would you say that it's good to find out firstly, what does fitness mean to you? So,
correct.
And we need to then write down that goal. So someone's might be to run 5K, but someone might say, I just want to wake up and feel happy. I just want to wake up and feel good. I don't know when I've last felt my best.
Yeah.
Leads into the whys, doesn't it? Like, as Calvin said, is everyone's different, and it's one of the reasons why at Orange Theory that when we talk to any of the members, we assess their goals as they develop over time, but also when they first join us, we talk to them to find out their why, because every person's why is different. Like, guarantee most people will come in and go, I just want to get fit or want to lose weight. But actually, when you get into those fine lines, everyone's view is a little bit different of what exactly they want. So I think that really, like, as Calvin said, it's very important that you can't treat everyone in the fitness industry or in terms of fitness exactly the same.
Yeah, definitely. And then also, when it comes to the why, when people say, I just want to feel good, it's like, does that look physical? Is it how you look for your partner, your family, your children? Or is it how you feel? But they all definitely 100% linking together. And then also another thing that we're going to just touch upon is, here and now, exercise is great for mental and so on. But you've also then got to think about later on in life as well, and how much it will help you when you have a family or, grandchildren or whatever like that. So do any of you, I mean, Tom, we'll go back to you just in terms of, you've now got a child, or you had Evelyn for a while, but has your fitness changed, or have you had to change, or has anything changed since having Evelyn?
Well, like, it's the option. I think having a child, like, it's the option to be able to go, I'm just going to go for a run, or I'm just going to go and work out, or this 1 hour session is now a 2 hour session. I can't.
You haven't got to say as much time then?
Yeah, you don't have that much time, because working with Fran is like, right, okay, I'm going to go and do a run now. How far are you going to run? Well, okay, I'll do 10K. Right, she'll expect me back after about like around an hour, so Fran then might want to go out and do a run or exercise. So I think it does change in terms of what your priorities are, in terms of efficiency. Like, I want to work out that I get the best of everything within that time frame, or I work out, or I do the thing that I really enjoy and gives me that peace of mind. So for me, at this moment in time during lockdown, like, being able to run is very important to me for my mental health, because it's like a freedom.
Yeah,
I can just forget about stuff. Now currently that I'm injured and working my way back again, but again, it's going out for a walk. For me, it's having that time away. So if I work out at home in the room or in the garden, Evelyn's going to be there. So then
it's having that you time then. I think that's what you're saying. It's having that time which is just for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say that's the biggest difference since having a kid is having that. Obviously, during lockdown, there's no nurseries or anything like that she can go to for a few hours. So it becomes much more important to have that me time and that efficiency of time and things. So yeah, that's, I would say personally, the biggest difference between pre-child was go and do anything I like.
Freedom, freedom when you're training, and now it's more like planning your time and when you can. I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that. And I was going to say then, Calvin, going back to then what you said, lockdown, maybe no equipment that you would have in going to the gym or so on. Routine has changed, but many people like you that are missing the gym, missing the weights. How are you coping, or what would you say to somebody that's struggling to cope with maybe dropping size or wanting to build weight? That was their goal. They were on a mission 6 weeks before lockdown. They were doing so well, and now that's been taken away. What would you say that to somebody?
Then you probably know the answer to this, right? Katie, not Rachel, Katie. Yes, I had a goal. Lockdown came through, and everything had to stop. But why stop it? Why stop that? Lockdown is not going to stop you from achieving our goal. It's like me, if say for instance, I had uni, and also say if I had an online course and lockdown came through, oh great, I have to stop doing my online course because it's lockdown. Why do I have to stop? I don't have to stop. I can carry on doing that. The same thing with training. Lockdown came through. I can still go out. You can still train. You can still lose that weight. You can still put a little bit of muscle. That's not going to be a great deal because you don't have those weights. Yes, you're going to miss them, but you can still do something that's going to be effective for you to put on.
And get creative as well. Like you've been training your garden. You've been getting things like a skipping rope. When lockdown, we were only allowed out for that exercise. But you've got your skipping rope. You've got things like cardio there.
Exactly, and that's why I tell the other person. Like the answer was, how bad did you want it? Yes, lockdown stopped, but that doesn't mean that you can stop. Your goal stops there. You carry on and you
Still
dig
do something
a little bit deeper, and you just carry on what you've been doing. Be, like you say, be a little bit creative with your workouts. Like you said last week or the week before, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you do something that's going to make you a little bit more happy and feel a little bit better than you was, the day before. Like, oh crap, I haven't got any weights, I haven't got a gym, I haven't got this to go to. It's just going to make
excuses then, I suppose. I think, to black and white, it's excuses.
Why make them up? If I've got an online course to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure I do it to my best ability. There's no excuses there because it's online. If lockdown came through, boom,
So
great.
true.
Yeah, you just have to do the best you can do for yourselves. The excuses, they just stop at the door. You don't make them up unless there was like a legitimate excuse. Like, okay, great, that's an excuse that's valid.
Yeah.
Okay, you take that time off, that kind of thing. But
and for me, on that, what you've just said, Calvin, there, that an online course, it might be something that's really important to you. That I'm always more productive if I write a list next to me for the day after. I always do it the night before, and I put times when I'm doing things. So, for example, I am doing a course, and I put, say, 1 hour. And when that 1 hour's done, I stop. So I find that putting something very specific, we all know what SMART is, making it measurable, making it achievable. If I've got a busy day, I won't give myself a target of doing 1 hour of my course because it just won't get done. I'll look at it and think, oh, it's another thing I haven't done, and it's always got that almost bit of a negative impact on my mind. So I'll look at a list and what is achievable and what can I do, and not make any excuses. I think that's what you're saying, Calvin, that there will be a time that we've all probably had a conversation with somebody and then think, right, okay, do you actually not want to do it, or is it a little bit of laziness? Probably only say that to our close friends. I would say that to close friends and family and so on, but it's just us on here. Then someone might be able to watch this back and say, no, there's loads of other things. I'm aware it's almost a bit like a pyramid. There's loads of other things to get to the top of why possibly you can't train. Time, demotivated, family, and there's so much there. It's so many big rocks there that are blocking you. But what can you take away from those big rocks to manage your maybe time a little bit different, or have that free time, or say, go in the garden, anything like, leave your child, in the garden with you, do some exercise with your child, anything that can keep them a little bit entertained so you can still keep moving and do something for you. So on that then, Rachel, we're coming to an end soon, but I just want to go back and say, how did you build that relationship with food? So we've discussed how important exercise is in terms of mental health, keeping ourselves busy. As we get older, exercise, if we don't train, you are talking, it's been proven that heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, everything like that. There's stories, that it can really help you in the future. But talk about the here and now. How did you overcome that, Rachel?
It took a long time, and I'm not going to lie, it's probably still going on. That I am careful about what I eat. I'm conscious of what I'm eating. Like, I wouldn't necessarily, I won't go to McDonald's because I can't stand it anyway, but I always look for the healthy option, or the healthier option, should I say. But yeah, like I say, it's taken a long time. I've just had to get over, I think especially these days it's a lot easier. I think or certainly for my age or a little bit younger, I think it's easier because everyone's into this strong, not skinny thing now, which I think is good personally, because they certainly helped me, especially training at the weightlifting club, that I see girls there who are so strong. They're not skinny, but actually I'd prefer to be able to lift what they're lifting, rather than being thin. And I think it's been a hard slog of getting used to my body and how it changes, and especially as I get older. But yeah, I think it's just creating a good relationship with food, knowing that, yeah, okay, I would normally choose a healthy option, but occasionally it's not going to hurt if I have something that's a little less healthy, shall we say.
I think it's because as well, I'm very similar. I naturally choose healthier options because I want to, because I enjoy how I feel after it. Yeah. But I do enjoy a treat, but I wouldn't also really indulge in something very heavy, because next day I just don't feel, I've headache or whatever. It is maybe too much food or too much grease. I've learned like what makes me feel good now, but also the day after. Yeah. But if I have a treat, I look forward to it. I think, right, okay, on Thursday it might be this and this, or it might be the quiz night, so I might have a glass of fizz, and I look forward to it. Yeah. But I also have a plan with my food, and that's what's really helped me. So maybe, do you think you just understood more on how you feel when you do eat, and maybe done research, obviously qualified and so on? Yeah, so, definitely. I suppose, it's just over time and accepting it's going to take a while to build that relationship. It won't happen overnight. You might still have days where you do maybe still go back into maybe how you were feeling. Can you relate to any of that, Solly, in terms of exercise or nutrition?
Yeah, I feel like Lorraine said in the beginning that she feels that she kind of go more towards the healthier option when she trains. I feel like when I have a day off, not just that I can eat something that's not healthy, but I feel like more binging on food and just snacking a lot. When I'm just training, it's more of like, I know that I worked out, so I need something healthy just to get, just to add to my workout as well, because it's more of a balance between food and working out. So I just kind of try to work out as much as I can, not to kill myself, but just to be active mostly every day, have a day rest in a week. And then that day rest, I would have, as you say, I'd have a cheesecake. G loves a cheesecake. She, would sit down and have a treat.
Calvin likes cheesecake.
Yeah, Calvin's like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I haven't had a cheesecake in all the fucking night.
I need a cheesecake too.
We have to get the cheesecake when we open back up.
I'll pro cat.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Have you not got one in your freezer?
Probably there is one, probably deep down where probably all the stuff are.
Freezer one day.
He only wants fresh cheesecake is the only way. That's it.
I remember that for when we return.
Good. do it. Yeah.
Okay, so anything last that you'd say just in terms of why exercise is important just before we close this?
Go on, Cal.
No, I was going to say something. I've totally forgotten what it was.
Cheesecake. I like raspberry, by the way.
I would say that it's a case of it's good to get out and get moving and get the body moving. Especially, I think Rachel said it, as we get older as well, it's very good to try and just keep moving. So for fitness, as you get older, keeping moving is so important, but also mental health, just getting out. We've discussed it before, Katie, where we've said getting out and just going for a walk in the sunshine, a bit of vitamin D, all that kind of stuff. A little bit of movement just gets those endorphins start.
And find a walk that you like. It doesn't have to be round, your streets of houses. Try and explore. And apparently there's an app, I'll have to try and find it, but where it pulls up all your local nice walks near your house in certain radius. It's like a walking app or something. So see if there's new routes that you can explore. I know I found loads during lockdown that I didn't even know existed near where I live.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, really for fitness is, even no matter how much you think you can't do something, is just get out and do something at this time in what we're currently going through at the moment. Just for mental health, is just get out, do something. If you've got kids, as you say, take them out, go for a walk. If you haven't got kids and you're just like, I don't want to run, I don't want to lift weights, I'm not feeling that, just get out of the house, just go and move a little bit, because human nature is we're very lazy, and as soon as we sit down, we want to stay seated and we want to eat some ice cream, cheesecake, have a glass of wine, all of these different bits. And the more we do that, it feeds into one another and we keep on doing that. So I think it's just very important just to get out. for some point during the day, for some amount of time, and just get those legs moving.
And find a time which works well for you as well, because I think we touched upon this before, that for me, I know if it gets after 5 o'clock, I probably won't train. So I've learned that now. I've accepted that, and I get it done early. I get it done earlier, so I don't make an excuse that, oh, it's time to make tea or time to do this. I have to do it early, and it changes the whole direction of the day. Or I decide in the morning, no, it's a rest day. I'm not training. I'm just going on a walk. So I make my decision before 12 o'clock on what I'm doing. That's really helped me during lockdown.
I think for me, because I don't want to keep going on about my injury, but basically I sprained my ankle quite badly before I did my back in, which meant I couldn't do stuff. But with my back, everyone says to me not to ease up on the exercise, ease up on don't do exercise and stuff. And I'm like, I said to Emily, I says, I'm not doing that. I'd rather do a little bit something, take it easy, improvise. And I feel better for that, because I feel like I've moved my joints and I've moved my back, I've twisted it, and I've got it going, I've got blood flow going, instead of not doing anything and being grumpy and then eating a pile of rubbish because I'm fed up and feels better.
Yeah, so just doing a little bit of mobility work.
Anything, yeah. And that's what I found anyway, and then it's habit as well, and getting into a bit of a routine. And I'll have a look at the class for the day after, and I'll see whether it's for me or not. If the whole class is not for me, then I won't do it. But just a small element of it, and I'll get into talk to someone. What can I do instead? And try and, it's like Calvin said, if you want it or you're motivated enough, you'll find a way around it. Lockdown can go either way. You can either have more time, or like with Mike with his shifts, he might have a massive workout today, but he'll switch into 3 or 4 classes or AMRAPs, 15-minute AMRAPs or something like that.
Yeah.
Down throughout the day. You don't have to do it all in one go. And I think Tom, a couple months ago, mentioned NEAT, and I read up on that. That has a lot to do with your calorie burning as such. Well, so, yeah, just do as much as you can.
Yeah, definitely. Spreading it out a bit as well, in like what you said, just 5 or 10 minutes is enough. And I know, Calvin, you've always said that, go out for 5 minutes, and that's just enough. It's enough to make you feel good. It might end up in 20 minutes, it might end up 30 minutes, but you still got out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any last words of wisdom?
I was going to say, make fitness like part of your lifestyle. Anything that can keep you physically, mentally, emotionally active, make it part of your lifestyle. If it's diet to go along with fitness, make your lifestyle. That's one way to kind of get it started. Like Lorraine said a couple of weeks ago, find a routine. There's no excuses around it. We're all in lockdown, so please actually get something going on. If it's like Coach Katie there doing a course, do it. If it's Rachel loves our food, start cooking. Do something. If Tom running, start running. Like Lorraine doing 5-10 minutes or something is better than nothing. Make that your routine, make that lifestyle. You will be 10 times better than you were like 2 months ago. That's what I gotta say.
Oh, I was about to clap. Calvin, I mean, that's a lovely note to leave it on. You've rounded it up absolutely brilliantly. No, great. It's really nice to see you all. But yeah, and then what we'll do is I'll post this on Facebook. Anybody's got any questions, we'll fire away.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Nice
to see you all.
Bye all.
Bye.
Nice to see everybody. Bye.
Bye.